It's because I had it on mute. Hello, Jay. Good to see you. I'll let you join in. I'm going to get started. You can jump on the Zoom if you want. Hello, or you can just stay on. Oh, I can hear myself now. Hello, Marilyn. Better, yes, yeah. Helps when you take yourself off mute, hey? So let's get started. Today, we are going to explore something that has been coming up a bit lately. Making sense of everyone's opinion about you and your business. How do you make sense of all of this? Yeah, no problem. Okay, you can join in. I mean, I love Facebook Live, so it's fine with me whether you're on here as a participant or not. Looks like we've got Sky. So good to see you, Sky. I'll bring you into this conversation. If you want, Sky, just so I can see what you are saying, make sure you, where's the chat? Where's my chat? Where's my chat? Put any comments that you want in the chat. But I want to explore this because it is something that I'm noticing, you know, a lot of people asking questions about this. And it is also a part of showing up is that you're going to get a bunch of people's opinions about you. And you're going to have to make sense of that. So what I wanted to give you is a context as to what's happening, what's really happening. And also, you know, something, oh, hello, Talita. Something that I do this incredible discussion with a guy called hello, Araway and Talita. I'll just get you guys in here as well so I can see you. Just as I said before, just keep comments going in the chat if you want to say anything about this. So, you know, one of the things that we talked about last night, which is about, really it's about when you take things personally. Because see, it really wouldn't matter if you didn't take it personally. Do you notice that there are people that can say things to you and if it's not personal, you kind of don't care? Like, you can listen to someone else saying, oh my God, can you believe that that person said blah, 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 blah. And you can think of it quite rationally and give that person advice. So you're able to see the perspective. I'm getting sick. Water. Not vodka. Not yet. So you're able to see the perspective of other people and you're able to give really good advice to others when you're not taking things personally. All right. So I wanted to give you this as a way of thinking about, and this might be something you can bring into your conversations and something that you can bring into, let's say, I like to say context. So something that I'm going to talk to you about that will sit in the back of your mind when you're interacting with people and when you are wanting to show up. So it gives you some sort of compassion for yourself and others. Okay. So, oh, great. We've got a few more people. Hello, Janetta. Hello, Jen. Hello, Gavin. So nice to see you. Again, I've got you all on mute, but if you want to interact, just put yourself into the chat and tell me, or just keep coming along with me. So the first thing I want to talk about is, I want to get a list of, as always, hello, Janetta. Nice to see your face. Get a list of what do you want to get out of this. So if you guys want to put in the chat, those who are on Facebook, if you want to put in the chat as well, you know, what sort of things do you really want to know about this particular topic? If you could just have anything, what would it be? Excuse my coughing. Oh, it's that season to get sick again. So yeah, if you could like, if I could get anything out of today's topic, which is your brand and making sense of everyone's opinion about you and your business, you know, what would it be? I need to be seen when I go online. Yep, okay, great. You don't have to add in anything here. You can just come along with the ride, you know, come along for the ride. It says, I'll just wait. It's okay if it's delayed, if you think about it as I go through. Knowing what's the best way to do things for the best results. Max engagement. Yeah. Wanting to avoid the Facebook algorithms. Oh, this is good. Jay, knowing whose opinion to take on board. Very interesting question. Okay. So that's a good list. So knowing whose opinion to take on board, to be seen when I go online, knowing the best way to do things for the best results, max engagement, and I want to avoid in Facebook, what to avoid in Facebook algorithms. Okay, so this is really about your brand and making sense of everyone's opinion about you and your business, okay? So I will actually cover those other things towards the end. And yeah, Marilyn, how to take on, that's, yeah, we'll cover that. How to deal with negative and disparaging comments. Okay. So these two are very relevant to the topic. To be seen when I go online, knowing what's the best way to do things for the best results, wanting to max engagement. Do you know what? We might actually cover them. Let's see, we'll go towards the end and I might cover something on it at the end. But the real focus I want to, and as I always like to do, is to look at the definitions of these things. So what is a brand? What is a brand anyway? Well, to basically break it down, the definition of a brand is a type of product manufactured by a particular company under a particular name. And traditionally, you know, people have come up with names because they want to distance themselves from the product, or they want to distance themselves from the company. But every single company in the world is run by people, and there's always a person at the top. It's good to see you, Rochelle. Rochelle just booked into the immersion on the 22nd, so she's excited. Whoop, whoop. So, you know, there was somehow we had to keep a distance, and everything in this social media school is about no distance. What is your name? Your name is your name. You're a personal brand. What is your company? You are your company. And what type of product are you producing? Well, firstly, you're producing you. You are the product you're producing. Before you do anything else, you are it. So in this case, the type of product manufactured by the company under a particular name, this social media school is all about having you fully express who you are. You are the product, you are the company, you are the face, you are the name. Okay, so let's go into that in a bit deeper, because then we look at marketing definition. Branding by definition is a marketing practice. Great word, practice. It's a practice in which it creates a name, symbol, design that is easily identifiable as belonging to the company. Therefore, there are many areas that are used to develop a brand, including advertising, customer service, promotional merchandise, reputation, logo, right? So when you think about it, all of it's, like it says there, creates a name, symbol, or design that's easily identifiable as belonging to the company. So what has that got to do with you? Well, You could, like we do traditionally, come up with something. The brand is going to be Reebok, and we're going to make shoes, and we're going to post images of people getting really fit at the Olympics. And oh no, that's wrong. That's Nike. We're going to do Nike. Let's just pretend I said Nike. And we're going to say, just do it. And we're going to make it like life is so easy. All you have to do is wake up and say 3 words. So if I put my Nikes on, I'm just going to feel like getting up and doing things. Okay. And then it turns out everyone buys a pair of Nikes and they're just doing fuck all. Okay. Right. So, but the brand is pretty clear, right? What this is about is you creating yourself as yourself. You're easily identifiable because you have a voice and the things that you want to say that no one else wants to say, and the things that you want to express, and that becomes your symbol. And, you know, in the social media school, you create your pillars, and that is your name, and that is who you are, and it's all you expressed, right? So I wanted to make that clear that your brand is you. So we use brand because that's a term that people understand in business, but your advertising is you, your customer service is you, your promotional merchandise is you, your reputation is based on your alignment to you. So, and your logo, that represents who you are, right? Usually it's your face, but even if, like me, we've got a group, we've got the Real Jess Claire group, it's still a personal brand and it's a group, but it's all personally based on me, my expression, and what there is for me to really do and say in the world. So, any questions on that before we go any further? Yeah, that's good. Talita, perfect. How to be more authentic and feel more comfortable with crying in my lives, because I cry when I'm emotional. Yeah, good question. Okay. Opinions. Hasn't everyone got an opinion? Has anyone ever noticed that? This is also really important. So opinions are really important. They're a part of life, and we're going to go into that in a second. Opinions actually, you know, I really do believe, from everything I've researched on neuroscience and everything I've done, opinions actually are our ability to kind of come as one, come as another, clash, and then we get to kind of expand thinking and evolve and start to do things better, or unfold more and more and more thinking, enlightenment, however you want to think about it, creativity, innovation, except that's not how we use opinions, unfortunately. What we tend to do is go opinion, that's wrong, and walk away. So an opinion by definition is a view or judgment formed about something, not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. So just as a general rule, you shouldn't listen to anyone's opinion. Like, ever. You'll notice even in the field of psychology and psychiatry, they're trained not to have one. Unless they're specifically asked for one, and even then they have to be so clear in their writing that it's an opinion. And they even have to back up what their opinion is and what facts and basis and all of that. So if we take out that analogy, basically everyone's got an opinion from where they stand, and it's based on all their past. Now that's an amazing thing, and it's also very relevant. So it's both incredible and useless. And I'll tell you why. Okay. So what do you do with this? You got to ask yourself, what is really going on with all these opinions in this world? You've got billions of causes. There's people that don't have the right blood that need blood. There's people in hospitals. There's transplants. There's, you know, racism. There's mental health. There's women's issues. There's domestic violence. There's murder. There's rape. There's abuse. Does anyone ever think of really how many things are going on in this world? And like, oh, how do we make sense of that? You've got past experience. You've got all these messages coming out daily about what you should and shouldn't do. Not to mention everyone else around you telling you as you go everywhere. There's people that have higher education than you, There's people that have lower education than you. There's status, people that act like they're better than you, even when they're not. And then there's people that don't act like they're as good as you, even when they are. You know, there's this power struggle. There's all these things going on. None of it has anything to do with you. But if you put yourself in the same position, right, there's so much going on and there's so many reactions and responses to stimulus. I don't know what I was going to write after that. This. There's so many reactions and responses, and that's all it is. So everyone's taking all of that in and putting it into their lens, and then they see something you post, and then they respond to it. Unless it catches them in a way that's different to all of what I call this kind of automatic vomit that's going out into the world, they won't even notice, which sort of answers your question, Jen. You know, how do I be seen when I go online? So people don't notice. So mostly it's just not noticed. Mostly if people are reacting and providing your opinion, they've probably, it's not an opinion about you and what you're doing. It's connected to a whole bunch of other brain patterns that are coming up with what you're doing, right? So just keep in mind that there's just human beings are constantly reacting to things. Stimulus response, stimulus response, stimulus response, stimulus response, constantly. I think I'll put that in the next one. What's really going on? If we look at it from a business perspective, on average, and I reckon this is a very small minimum, people are getting spammed by 20 different companies every day. Minimum. I mean, I'm sure I get so much more than that, right? Emails, inboxes, text messages, whatever form of communication. You turn on the TV, there's ads. You go onto YouTube, I don't pay for an account. After about 7 minutes, I get an ad. Spotify ads, every form of device you've got, you're getting given ads about companies, right? And there's messages in that all the time too. Loads of ads, messages, and there's other opinions. They're like saying, Talita, you should buy this because it will make you happy. And then thoughts, and then you go on social media and everyone's got thoughts about everything else. The messaging is overwhelming. Don't you experience that? Do you ever sit and kind of feel like this is just there's so much going on. There's so many thoughts and people's opinions and what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad. It just never shuts up. And then, of course, you get every now and then you'll see a friend going, just letting everyone know I'm taking a break from social media. Just letting everyone know I'm offline. I'm not surprised. Okay, because it is so, you know, it's just so much of it. So just noticed I didn't update the number. Anyway, there's lots of stuff. So what? So what about social media? Who are you going to listen to? How do you deal with all these opinions? We first of all got to get that every single person on the planet is dealing with that level of overwhelm from wherever they're standing in their culture, in their conditioning, and the messaging is just coming tenfold. And depending on, hello, Alex Kenny, and depending on who is in their life at this particular time will depend on how they're going to respond, whether they're getting more messages and pressure from their parents, from their family, from their friends. There's just pressure everywhere, right? To be something, which is why we created this social media school. It's like, put all of that away and we're going to teach you, or we're going to show you ways and tools and practices to just talk about what's important to you. Who gives a crap about anyone else? You're the interesting one. There's so much other things out there. And this is what's interesting is everyone's so much giving their opinion on all of that we don't really connect to us. And it's like, well, what do I really want to say? So where is the response coming from? Whoever it is coming from, like, where is it? And what do we mean by that? So where, if you were to think about whatever someone's opinion is, hello, Roy, if you were to think about there's a location in which an opinion comes from, that's like an intention. Everyone's opinion always comes from an intention. What's someone's intention, right? You only know, by the way, it's not what your brain tells you. That's your past, that's your opinion. The only way you know what someone's intention is by asking them. So Jay, just for some of the conversation that I heard you having with Emily, I always ask, what is your intention? If anyone starts coaching me or starts going, hey, I don't know about this and I always ask, what's your intention by telling me that? Because I'm just curious. I'm like, it's great. It's like, I'm just sitting here, I'm minding my own business, and someone comes and vomits their opinion on me. I'm like, where did that come from? I'm interested. What stimulus response just happened over there? So I always like to ask that, like, I'm curious, like, what is their intention? And the other thing is I have what I call my 5 higher self handful of people. So if you think of yourself, there is also a view in which you have kept somewhere. I'm pointing to my head because I think that's where it is, but I'm not really sure. There's kind of a view you have of yourself. And there's a place that you are in the future. Like, you know, because some of you guys are doing my program, it's, you know, for you, Errolware, it's the retreat. It's business ownership of a wellness company for you, Talita. You know, there's some place in which you're located as a higher self. Like, I see myself here, and it's going to take me accomplishing certain things to get there. It's going to take me showing up as powerful, unstoppable, whatever it is, what my pillars are, practicing my pillars and really standing for what's important and all of that, right? So who are the people in your life that are absolutely standing for that higher self of you, and in every conversation have that as their intention? They're the people you listen to. Now, 99.9% of people, 9999999, infinitely apart from 5 people, pretty much have that as their intention. So that's why I always have a coach, because I hire someone to have that intention for me and to hold that there for me. And then there are just some people in my life that I know always hold me out there. No problem. See you, Errolway. Who are they for you? You know, Brene Brown talks about these people as well. You know, you've got to keep this very limited, and you've got to be very clear who they are. And there is nothing wrong with anyone else who wants to. Now, this is just my view, right? I just want to be clear. This is just my view. This is what I've seen has worked. There is nothing more important than your power. And when I mean power is like you being in your full highest vibration, joy, connection. I mean, you're okay to kind of go down and get messed up and go through a process for a while. That's a part of life. But what's important is that you remain really true to your intention, your purpose, what your message is and who you are. And you're surrounding yourself by people that have that intention really sacred is really important. There are going to be people that, like I have in my life, that think that being an entrepreneur makes me a bad mom. You know, and that's not empowering that is not empowering my higher self. And it overlooks certain things, and I'm not going to get into the opinion of that, But the focus on that can sometimes take me out, and I don't want to show up, and maybe I shouldn't do this, and maybe I should go do, so there are people that really have views and opinions about being a mum, and then views and opinions about what you're allowed to say on LinkedIn, for example, because I say all sorts of things people shouldn't say on LinkedIn. And there's so many things, but it's like, who are those 5 people? And I'm very clear on who my 5 people are. And I literally do not listen to anyone else's opinion. What I do is get curious about it. I go, that's interesting. What made you say that? And I just listen. I just listen to what other people say. And then sometimes I don't. Sometimes someone used to call it a fart in a hurricane. It's like, yeah, great. Thanks, move on. People are farting in hurricanes all the time. Okay. So I wanted that to give you at least some tools in which you can decide for yourself, sort of a way of thinking about what is this person's intention, and even having the courage to ask, not having to respond quickly and answer a question. Someone goes, why did you do that? You shouldn't have done that. Like, stop and actually just, where's their intention coming from? It's one of the most powerful things for me, and it allows me to just listen too. That's why you said, that's interesting. That's right, Jen. Any of you now that have given me your opinions, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Jess is like, interesting. Yes. Sorry. I just had a message pop up to say that someone's using my toll on my car, and I'm like, hang on, it's in my driveway. Has it been stolen? Anyway, I'll get into that later. All right. So let that give you some tools to kind of think about it. And really, anyone outside of there, and even those people, they should be the kind of people that you can have some pretty energetic debates with about you. Anyone who I coach, I have some energetic debates with. So the last thing I want to say before we do end as well is, I'll go back to that. Let's just cover it off. Knowing whose opinion to take on board. I think I've answered that, Jay. You got to run. Okay. Your last comment was a question. In the case when people have our best intention but may not know our expression, I would want you to consider that if you think that this person is got your higher self and you think they don't know your expression, I would argue they don't know your higher self. Your expression is that. They're kind of not separate. So I just want you to consider that potentially you may have someone that's got a view on the way you should show up, which is different from actually holding your higher self. This is what it looks like to hold someone's higher self. Who's grappling? Well, we might just go over a little bit. I always try and make them half an hour, but it's okay if I go over a little bit. Who's grappling with something right now that needs an opinion? Anyone? Everyone's like, oh, God. Sky? Any of you guys? Ooh. Well, who wants to work with me? We're going to go, I need someone to work with me so I can make it clear. I almost want to highlight you, Janetta, because I know you love being the center of attention. I won't. Okay, Sky, do you want to come off mute? Let's smash it out. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, you're a bit low. That could be me. Let me just check.
About now. Is that working?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So tell me something right now you're kind of grappling with in your business. Well, you've got it here.
Yeah, just knowing, because I know that there's lots of things that you should not say to trigger the algorithms to not let you be seen. Is that what you're talking about, or are you talking about something a bit deeper on it?
Yeah, this is a bit deeper. I will go into that though in a second.
Yeah.
This is really distinguishing between someone who is just giving you an opinion that's not holding you to a high self versus someone that is, what it sounds like. So give me an example of something you're grappling with in your business that you might get advice from someone on.
Showing up in meeting timeframes for orders.
Okay, so showing up, meeting time frames to orders. So what would be your question? You're like, Jess, I really need some assistance.
I'm not prioritizing my clients. You know, like I'm putting things off that I could be doing, and I need to schedule things. You know, like and I need to be showing up consistently.
Yeah. Okay. So you're like, Jess, I'm putting orders off. I need to be showing up consistently. I'm not putting my customers first. Can you give me some advice on what to do here? This is what it sounds like. Are you sure that you've got the right business? Do you think maybe you're taking too much on? This is what it sounds like. This is what people say to each other. That is having you question what you're doing. Undermining, it's not intentional. It always comes from love. I just want to make sure that's clear. This is someone who cares about you going, if you just take some load off, that'll make it better.
But they have your capacity.
Well, I was just going to say, you guys, I know your capacity. You need more, not less.
That's
or you're just going to pick fights with people and get angry. Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. So we need to empower your potential and have you comfortable in the grapple of what it is to create a business, not get you smaller and get some momentary relief. Because I know for myself, when I'm in momentary relief, and that's different from being present and doing self-pleasure practice and all of that stuff. I'm not talking about, things that are actually, nourishing to the body and soul. I'm talking about, and anyone who doesn't know what self-pleasure practice is, it's not what it sounds like. Okay? It's a practice. It's like a meditation.
Pleasuring oneself.
Yeah, it is. But it's not, it can be, but it's not sexual. It can be though. Anyway, anyway, where was I? So yeah, it's for us, it's like, how do I expand my capacity? What I can hear is right now, I am needing to expand my capacity, Jess, so that I can get my orders. I mean, it's a good problem to have. We've got too many orders, show up online. So my awareness and brand is getting out there and I'm getting more reach. So I would say to you, that sounds like an outsourcing issue. There's a lot of things you do on your own that you're grappling with outsourcing at the moment.
No.
Okay.
The problem's not it's not having enough time or anything like that. It's self-sabotage.
Yeah. Okay.
In just I'm putting doing things off that I could be doing straight away, and I'm not committing to my customers. I'm giving them, say, that'll be ready in approximately 3 weeks when I could have it done in a week.
Yeah. Okay. So you have this sort of view of yourself that I could get this done sooner. but I'm going to spend 3 weeks on it.
Yeah.
And maybe I should.
I'm just procrastinating.
Yeah, okay. And then we would look at, so just so you know, higher self, we would have a look at, well, you know, I would anyway, what's going to bring you the most joy? Is it doing it in a week or is it doing it in 3 weeks? What's going to light you up, Sky?
Probably halfway between.
Okay, great.
For sure.
So
get it done in a better time frame, but still giving myself a little bit of leeway to not be putting too much pressure on myself.
yeah. Okay. So essentially what I want to point out is that my attention is on you, what brings you joy, what's going to empower you, how it's going to make it. I'm not trying to take off your load. I'm trying to understand how you can bring more to your life that is what you want and what you want to do in your expression.
Absolutely. And that
yeah.
makes me feel good.
That's right. And then it won't matter if you do it in 3 weeks or a week and a half, because all the things you're doing are going to light you up.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas someone who doesn't have that kind of best interest, or you didn't say best interest, but their intentions coming from some personal place, like, know better. I've been through it. These people are my absolute non-favorite. I've been through something that was so bad, so I need to protect you from ever experiencing it. So don't go and do that thing.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Right? Now, that's coming from some fear. I'm like, go do that thing. It's either going to work or it's not. And if it doesn't work, it's going to be heartbreaking. But my God, heartbreak is really good for growth.
Yeah, I'm teaching myself that.
You know, so this is not about avoiding life. You gotta listen for people's intentions. Listen for. You gotta like really ask yourself, what are people's intentions, right? So does that, you gotta go? Okay. Does that give you access now to that? More of a, you know, how do you deal with all of this? Your brand. Come back to who you are, what you want to express. Identify the people in your life that really do hold you out there. Ask, what's your intention all the time? So you know, don't make it up. Making it up won't work. And ultimately, the same things that always come back to is say what you want to say, not what you need to think, not what you think you need to. Clear and simple with your message, brevity. Your self-expression is your brand. Focus on adding value by solving the problem you know they have, be useful, and be creative. Different stuff is good. Authentic stories are engaging. So that is what pulls people out. You know, I'm just going back to always sort of the mantras in this business. And just to come back, yeah, you've been grappling with that. Exactly. You just have to ask, what are people's intentions? I know we sit there trying to work it out. You just ask. And you got to believe them too. You can't go, yeah, right, I don't know. You got to believe people's intentions, yeah, when they tell you. So if we just go back to what we wanted, I think we've covered opinions to take, negative and disparaging comments, to be seen when I go online, to know the best way to get the best results. We've sort of covered that again. The maximum engagement is to continue to grow. Do the immersion, the 12-week program. And we will teach you all the things about that. Avoiding Facebook algorithms. If anyone that can stay on, are you still on, Sky? You are. What to avoid in Facebook algorithms. Sharing, avoid sharing. So you've got to update, you know, you want to post something, you post the photo and the text on your profile page. If it's a match for your business, then you go over there and upload the photo and the text on your business page. Do not share over to your business page or then share over to your profile page. Doesn't work. The algorithm sharing deprioritizes, no one will see it.
What's the best way to get engagement from your personal page to your business page then? Because I share posts from my business page to my personal page so that people will go to my business page. Do I just tag my business page?
The best way to actually get engagement on your business page is it's really to collaborate with other businesses in your field and create little mastermind groups. So if you're in doTERRA and you're also in, you make those sort of creative t-shirts and patterning stuff, that's my words for it.
Tie-dye.
What do you call it? Tie-dye? Yeah.
Fabric art.
Yeah, so you might want to collaborate with people in your field.
Yep, okay, cool.
And then what you do is do this thing that I do. So here we go. Well, seeing as it's you, Sky, let's do this. I'll go, what do you call Creatrix?
Yep.
Or Evolutions? Yep. There we go. And then you collaborate with people like me. And then I go share. Oops, no, I don't. I go invite friends. And hang on, where did I go? Invite friends? Didn't work. Oh no, I think I've done it too many times. But that sucks. I need to see if it's a... Yeah, okay. So there you go. Ready? You ready for this, Sky?
Woo!
I've just invited everyone. In my group, you will notice that will go up by a couple hundred.
Fuck yeah, cheers.
There you go. But you do that with lots of people in your circle. And you do what's called, you share, you collaborate, cross-collaborate that way.
Yeah, I've already got a couple of people in mind that will be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's the way to sort of do it is to create mastermind groups around your own products, which is why community is so important. We really can't do all this on our own. Yeah, you're welcome. So is there any other questions? What's this? No? Well, that hopefully has given, not hopefully, no doubt, that has given you a great beginning, at least some freedom around your brand, making sense of everyone's opinion, maybe some compassion for yourself as well, of all of these messages and influence you're getting all the time, but also others. You just never know what people are going through and what they're going through. So if there's no other questions, I don't think there is. Is that good for you, Janetta? Good. Thank you all for tuning in. Jay, Jamie, Arroway, whoever is still on, that one person. Thank you, Talita, for joining in. Thank you, Sky. Thank you, Janetta. Great to see you all. And until next week, or when I see you guys next, have a great day. Cheers. See ya.